welcome to my channel. If you don't know me, I'm a virtual assistant and social media manager from Portugal, and today I'll be giving you my top 5 tips on how you can work from home and how to be more productive and achieve that work-life balance that everyone seems to talk about. So if you're interested in that, stick on watching. Last week, I did a video about my 5 work from home ideas that you can start today. So if you haven't checked that one out and if you don't know exactly how you can work from home just yet, check that one out. I'll have it linked in the description so you can watch it as well. But without further ado, let's continue on with this video. My first tip would be to turn it off. Now, I personally use my phone for work, so I can't really turn it off most of the time. But if you don't need your phone for work, just do yourself a favor and turn it off while you're working. Other options would be to put it on airplane mode so you're not wasting battery while you're not using it. And 2, you won't get any notifications because that's what will be distracting you and making yourself not as productive as you could be. And you can also put it across the room, face down, or on a different room altogether. And if you're like me and you use your phone for work, just put it on do not disturb. Or something I've been liking to do is I have an iPhone. I don't know how it works, if it works for Androids, but I set the screen, what's it called? I think it's the option of screen time. So I set that so it doesn't allow any social media apps or any distraction apps during the time where I'm working, which is usually around 9 to 4, 9 to 5. So I have it set up so I can't go on those apps during that time, so they can't send me any notifications. But if you just turn on do not disturb while you're working, that should be just fine. My second tip would be to set up an office and office hours. Now, you probably hear this a lot, but this is honestly the best way to achieve work-life balance, is to have a designated office space and office hours. So anytime you're not in your office or outside your office hours, you won't be working, ideally. Now, this can be a whole dedicated room in your house, especially if you're working from home full time and you expect to be doing this long term. I would say it's definitely helpful to have a full-on office room in your house. You'll probably be wanting to take client calls or other calls or record videos or anything like that. And for that, you definitely would like to have a door that you can close so you don't have that much noise from other people in your house. And also so you have some privacy because you don't want to be distracted while you work. But if you're just doing this temporarily for right now, I'd say just having a desk in a nook in your house, I've seen people do it on closets, but you can have a part of your living room dedicated to having a desk with a computer and a chair. I definitely recommend a comfy chair if you can have that. But having a dedicated space in your house that's designated for work only definitely helps with that work-life balance. And you should also set up a schedule for yourself. Now, if you can be flexible with this, you can figure out what time works best for you. So I'd say test out a few different schedules. Some people I know like to work in the mornings, some like to work in the evening. So find out what works for you and kind of try to stick to it. Put it on your calendar. That's always my number 1 tip, is to put it on a calendar so you have that time blocked and you know that during that time you'll be working. And after that time, you'll be resting or spending time with your family, wherever you want to do. I try to work from 9 to 4, 9 to 5 usually, depending on how many tasks I need to do on that day. But yeah, definitely try different things out and see what works for you. You don't have to work 9 to 5 if you don't have to. And also, don't be afraid to break these rules. Now, I know I just sat here and talked to you how important it is to have an office and office hours, But then again, you're working from home. So the best thing about it is that you can be flexible and work anytime, anywhere. Like, not all the time and everywhere. that there's a difference, trust me. But like, if you're going on a trip this weekend, you can work more hours like in the beginning of the week, so you have the weekend and maybe Friday or Thursday off. But if you have a meeting on Wednesday, let's say you have a dinner with a friend or lunch with someone, you can have that time off and compensate on the weekends, for example. That's the beauty of working from home, for me at least. And let's be honest, I sometimes get a bit bored if I'm working at my desk all week. Now, you may like to work at your desk, and that's great if you do, but I personally sometimes like to switch it up and go to the couch or sit at my patio tables or outside on a yoga mat. Like, do whatever works for you. You don't have to stick to the rules if they don't work for you. It's just great to have those in place. My third tip would be to take breaks. Now, I'm definitely guilty of this. I don't do this enough, but I've lately been trying out the Pomodoro method for the second time, I'd say. The first time I did it was with using my phone timer or just looking at the clock. I don't remember how I was doing it, but it didn't work. I completely ignored the breaks and worked through them. So the other day I found an app. It's actually an extension for Google Chrome. It's called Marinara, and you just click on it and it starts the timer. And then it's kind of hard to ignore because it opens up a new tab. So wherever you're doing on your computer, even if you're not on Chrome, it opens up a tab and switches to that tab, so you are forced to see when the timer's up. If you don't know what the Pomodoro method is, you basically are working for 25 minutes and then taking a 5-minute break. So hopefully you'll be working like fully focused on your task for those 25 minutes, and then after you get kind of rewarded by a 5-minute break. I find that works really well for me because it's easy to motivate yourself to work for 25 minutes. It doesn't sound that daunting. And then you can do whatever else you want to like clean up your mind. In your breaks, I would definitely recommend staring away from the computer, whether you go and grab a glass of water or something to eat or go to the bathroom. Do whatever you have to do, but try to do it outside the computer. And also, after I think it's 2 hours of working with the Pomodoro method, at least with the tracker that I have, you get a longer break, which is 15 minutes long. And on these breaks, you can do like pretty much whatever you want. You can go outside for a quick walk or walk on a treadmill if you have one, or you can just sit and watch a YouTube video, basically wherever floats your boat. My fourth tip would be to set up rewards. Now, this kind of goes along with the Pomodoro method because you get that 5-minute break, which is kind of a reward, but I like to think of bigger rewards. If we were not under quarantine, I would say something I love to do is to go to the movies after a day of work or a week of work. I like having that to look forward to at the end of my work day or my work week. But I'd say you can still do that if you like going to the movies. You can set up a date night, or even if it's just yourself, just set up some blankets on a couch or on the floor and set up your favorite movie and watch it. Like, that's a great reward, at least for me. My fifth and last tip, but definitely not the least, is talk to fellow work from homers. When you're working from home, you don't have any coworkers to vent to if something goes wrong. Let's say a client ghosts you or something along those lines. That's definitely never feels good, but then you don't have anyone to vent to. And on the other hand, you don't have anyone to celebrate your wins with, which can be a bit hard. And also, if you're working from home, now more people may get it since many people are working from home now. But if you have your own business or if you're doing something out of the norm, your friends and family may not fully understand what you do and may not understand what it feels like to do what you do, and that's totally okay. I mean, I've grown used to that, but that may be hard not having anyone that fully understands you. But that's what social media is for. I personally love chatting to fellow solopreneurs on Instagram and Facebook. Facebook groups are great to finding like-minded people. I actually created my own Facebook group. It's called Multi-Passionate Solopreneurs, since I'm very multi-passionate and I'd like to find like-minded people. If you want to join, I'll have the link in the description, but there are plenty of Facebook groups to join if you're looking for someone that also works from home. So yeah, that was my video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, like I usually do, I'll have everything linked in the description so you can go check it out. If you like this video, don't forget to leave me a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on my next video. I'll talk to you next Friday. Bye! From Portugal. Turn it off. That always helps set you up. But yeah, if you also my number one, what the hell? Pizza Drake breaks. Drake break. I'm getting tired. But yeah, So yeah, yeah.